Everyone. Good morning, everyone. Hopefully you can hear. Let's do this correctly with the right audio. There we go. Good morning. How is everyone doing? Fantastic to be with you again. It's another Wednesday, another COVID isolation week, and I can't quite believe that we're on week 5 of these webinars. And as usual, a great bunch of you showing up today. We've got a really quite a detailed topic to go into that I think will be useful for you. Another checklist that you can use that's part of the BoundaryWise Academy. So welcome all. I'm Chris from Protect Your Boundaries and the BoundaryWise Academy. And this is going to be 20 or 25 minutes of just learning one thing and learning how to answer one specific question that I hope we can help you with. As always, let's start off with a little bit of motivation. Hope everyone is well. I'm seeing where everyone is coming in from. It's, we've got Markham, Richmond Hill, Ottawa area, Oshawa. This is fantastic. Welcome, everyone. Awesome to have you here, our friends in this tiny little room that we're in. Anyway, we can't control everything that we want to control, right? Especially in these times, we realize that we can't control what we simply can't control. But here's what we can control. We control what we do with our time, how we think, and what we do with our time. And what we're hoping is that through this seminar series, we can help you be more productive, be productive in some of your downtime, and actually learn something. We encourage you to take a look at the BoundaryWise Academy afterwards. But just coming to this, fantastic. You're going to hopefully learn something or at least augment your knowledge today. So let's get started. I've got a few different things I need to click on here in order to make sure that you see what you need to be seeing. So there we go. And there I am down at the bottom there. Hopefully you can see that. And now over to my PowerPoint presentation. My goodness, the wonders of technology, right? So here we go. Here's the question. The question we want to answer today is around a particular situation. The question is this: how do I know if I can use this survey plan in my deal? And whether you're on the listing side or whether you're on the buying side, this question is one that you should always be asking, because you have the ability to be the gatekeeper for your client when it comes to survey plans in the deal. And that's important because you may be giving them advice, guiding them, asking them certain questions based on a document. You've got to make sure that that document would stand the test in court. If you were ever asked, well, what did you base this opinion on, or this advice or this direction on? You say, well, this document here. Well, if that document isn't complete in some way, then you may be in a bit of trouble there. So that's why this is so important. So you may be on the listing side and your client has given you what they think is a survey and you want to attach it to the deal because you want to disclose as much as possible. How do you know that you can use this survey plan? You're on the buying side and the agent has provided you with a survey plan, or you've got one off our side to protect your boundaries, or you've acquired one somewhere else. How do you know that you can actually use it? So when we talk about this stuff, normally, if you went through the BoundaryWise Academy, we look at 3 different areas that we look into, 3 different elements that we look into when we examine a survey plan. The first is, what type of plan is it? The second is it a type of plan I can use? The second is, what are the components on the face of the plan that I'm looking for? Is everything there that needs to be on this plan for me to be able to use it? And the last is the legibility of the plan. Now, that's not your 3-point checklist. Your 3-point checklist is actually on the middle one there. We're going to focus today on what components do you need to identify on the face of the plan to make sure that it's a plan that you can use. And it's actually not 3 components, it's actually 4 components. I made a mistake there, I apologize. But it's 4 components that you're going to look for. So before we get into them, I just want to remind you of one thing. I want to remind you that a survey plan is actually the same for you, treat it the same way as a legal document. It is a legal document, and it is the official legal opinion of a land surveyor, of an Ontario land surveyor, of where the boundaries are of a property, the extent of title is of a property, and all the physical features and attributes of that property on the date or thereabouts of when the survey was done. So it's important to recognize that, because as a legal document, what you have to make sure of is that you are dealing with all the componentry on that plan and treat it as such. So, for example, you wouldn't use a contract if it was missing a signature, if it was missing pages in the middle. So that's something that you need to be aware of when you're dealing with survey plans. So here's the one question. Here are the 4 things that I want you to look for every time you receive a survey plan. So here's a great survey plan. We're done by Kuchmar Surveyors. And I am going to turn off my video window here so you can see the whole plan, okay? So let's do this and let's see if this can actually work. Look at that, fantastic. So here we go. So we're looking at this survey plan here. And I know it's sometimes a little overwhelming, right? You see a survey plan, you see all this information, literally hundreds of individual pieces of information on this. And you go, my God, how am I ever meant to make sense of this? This isn't really my job. Well, the key is to focus and know what you're looking for. So in this case, let's go through the 4 things that you're going to need. The first that you're going to need to identify. The first, I want you to look for the title box. Now, the title box is the area on the survey. Hang on, let me see if I can get this going properly. There we go. This is the title box. The title box is the area on the survey plan that describes the location of the property or properties that have been surveyed, that are represented on this particular plan. And in this case, you can see that it is, it says here, part 1 on plan, part 1 plan of parts of lots 123, 124, and 125, plan M459, City of Toronto. Now, what's interesting is that that is the locational component, the first part, or it should be, of the legal description of the property that you're looking at. So interesting point there, but that's the first thing you're looking for. You're looking for that title box. The second thing you're looking for is the surveyor's name, their date, the surveyor's name, their signature, and the date on which this survey was completed. Remember, it's a legal document. It's like a contract. You have to have these components. So in this case, what we're seeing here is that we've got a surveyor's name. It'll be the surveyor's name with OLS written after it, Ontario Land Surveyor. Their signature will be there. And as well, you're going to see a date on which they signed this particular document. So you have to have this so you can make sure that this is an accurate document, a complete document. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit distracted because I'm getting some information here that says that YouTube isn't receiving all of this information. So we'll carry on and hopefully we're doing okay here. So the next thing we're going to look at, the third thing is, you're going to look for the survey firm. Now, we don't expect you to know the name of every single land survey firm in Ontario or Ottawa area or Ontario, the GTA, wherever you might be, but we do expect you to take a look at this and see if you see any evidence to suggest that this is not, this was not created by a land survey firm. Land survey firms are the only organization, and with Ontario Land Surveyors, the only organizations, types of firms, professions that are that have the authority to create land survey plans that you can use in real estate transactions. So what you're looking for is not necessarily, is this a land survey firm, but things like Smith & Smith architectural firm, or I don't know, Dave and Bob's landscape design firm, that sort of thing. It's got to be a land survey firm. If you see any sort of evidence or suggestion that it's something else, then that's something that you need to look into. So in this case, this was done by Kirchmar Surveyors. It's a really good quality plan. So next, let me just check and see that we're all okay here. So next, we're going to look at the fourth thing. Now, these 3 things that we've looked at so far, you have to make sure are on the plan every single time. We're expecting that, okay? And it doesn't matter whether it's a plan that was created yesterday or a plan that was created 100 years ago, you're looking for evidence of these 3 items. Now, please bear in mind that these 3 items may be in different locations on the screen. They don't necessarily have to be in exactly the same location. They also may be handwritten, where older plans before the days of computers were hand drawn and handwritten. That's okay. So here's the fourth one. Here's the fourth item we're going to look at. And that is, hang on a second before that, let me just bring me back up here. So before we do that, there we go. So we've got the 3. And now what we're going to do is we're going to look for the fourth item. So the fourth item on the face of the plan is going to be the association sticker. Now, all survey firms in Ontario are members of our professional association, the Association of Ontario Land Surveyors. And if you want to know more about what they do and what we do and everything else, go to aols.org. Now, in the early 1990s, they introduced a measure to help ensure that fraud and so on is controlled or at least monitored in the production of surveys. So they created a sticker system, and these stickers are uniquely numbered, and every time a surveyor signs and dates a survey, they finalize their opinion, they've signed it, they've dated it, then they take a sticker from the roll, which is uniquely numbered, stick it on the survey plan, and now that gets scanned, that becomes the original master survey. So it's important that that sticker is there. However, please recognize that this standard, this sticker system, was only produced, was started in the early 1990s, I believe. So if you're dealing with a plan that is newer than the early 90s, that was created since the early 1990s, you should expect that sticker on the survey plan. If it's older than that, don't look for it. So that's the caveat on that fourth one. So you've got those 4 elements that you're looking for on the face of the plan. So there they are. Okay, let me get rid of me out of this frame here. You don't need to see me here. So there we go. So let's go with this. Perfect. So there are the 4 elements. The title box, this is your checklist. The title box, the surveyor's name, signature, and date, the land survey firm, and the AOLS sticker. Okay, so those are the 4 things. Now, if you're a member of the BoundaryWise Academy, you've got a massive advantage, and that is that at any point in time, you get a survey plan and you're unsure, you just call us or email us. You email us with a plan and say, can I use this, can I not? And that is a free service that we provide you as a graduate of the BoundaryWise Academy. Yeah, free for an entire year, you get that. So that's a lot of value there. So let's go on to the next slide here. I want to give you some examples to take a look at. Let's go through a couple of examples here. So let's have a look at the first one. So this is a survey plan. Hang on a second, we're not quite seeing the bottom of it. Let's have a look here. Hold on a second. I need to get the entire plan in this field of view for you. My apologies. Anyway, okay, here we go. I apologize. So here we go. We actually can see most of the information here that we need. Assume that you can see the entire plan here. And so what we're going to look for is first, do we see a title box? And the answer is, yep, it's up here. Here's the locational component of this particular plan, lot 13, west side of Hamilton Street, plan M345. There it is right there. So we know we have a title box. Now, one of the things you might want to do is you may want to check that the legal description you have on your parcel register, which you've purchased from GeoWarehouse or Protect Your Boundaries to support your deal, you might want to make sure that if you've received a survey plan for this particular property, that this is also the first part of the legal description on the parcel register. What's on the parcel register governs, but sometimes, you know, lots that have been built that are standard size side by side, you can't necessarily differentiate just by looking at them to know that that is your house versus the one next door, the one you're dealing with versus the one next door. So always really important to make sure of that. But we have a title box, that's good. What's the next thing we're looking for? We're looking for the date, the surveyor's name, and their signature. And you can see just down here, I'm sorry it's a little cut off, but you can see down here, May 29th, 1978, Guido Papa, and a signature. Well, that's good. We've got a surveyor's name, we've got the signature, and we've also got the date. Fantastic. Next, we're looking for a survey firm. We've got Fazio and Papa Limited, Ontario Land Surveyor. So you know that this was created by a survey firm. So those three things are good. So now let's look for the fourth one, and it's date dependent. Should this one have a sticker? Let's look at the date, May 29th, 1979. That's probably a good 12 years before the sticker system was introduced. So no, we don't need to be seeing a sticker. So this document has the 3 components on the face of it that we would expect. Okay, let's go to the next one. The next plan, here we go. This is an older plan. So as you can see, this one was created using, well, it was hand-drawn and handwritten. And as you can see here, as we're looking at it, let's look and see, does it have a title box? Well, it's not like the others, but you can see here that we actually do have a title box. Plan of survey of lot 3, oops, sorry, back I go. Here we go. Lot 3 on plan 3790 in York Township of Etobicoke. So we do have a title box. Now, don't be fooled by the fact that this is handwritten. That's okay. Computers didn't exist back in 1978. So away. So we know we have a title box there. The second thing we're looking for is, obviously, we're looking for the date and the surveyor's name and the signature. And we can see down in the bottom right-hand corner that, in fact, we do have the date, which is just below, actually. I apologize, it's cut off here underneath the signature. We have Taylor's name, signature, OLS, with the date just underneath that. And then we also have the firm on there, Dunning and Taylor. So we know, and based on the date, this is obviously way before 1990, we're not expecting a sticker on this. So this, we would say, yes, it has all the identifying features that we need. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Here's this one. And yes, I know you receive plans that look like this sometimes, right? And you ask yourselves, can I use this or not? So with this one, let's have a look and see. Does it have a title box? No, it doesn't. There's no title box on this. Does it have a date? Doesn't have a date. How about a surveyor's name, a signature? You know what? It doesn't have anything on it. In fact, this is just one of those situations where somebody photocopied a piece of a larger plan of the entire plan, but their scan bed just wasn't big enough to take the whole thing. So they probably photocopied or scanned multiple sheets, and somehow only one ended up surviving that particular process. So in this particular case, guys, this is a really good example of a survey plan you cannot use, you shouldn't use, because it doesn't have, this would be like using a contract, a 10-page contract that was missing the last page with the signatures and middle pages and declaration pages. Maybe you only have 4 pages out of the 10. You wouldn't use that. That's not something that would actually be particularly valuable. So that's not something you would use. Same thing here. Don't use it. If it doesn't have those identifying features, please send it back, reject it, be the gatekeeper for your client. Okay, next one. This is the one we saw earlier on, and we know that this one has those 4 features. It has our title box in the top right-hand corner. It has our surveyor's name, date, and so on. And then it has the survey firm, and based on the date, it needs a sticker, and it has the sticker as well. So all good on that one. I know some of you are going to say, well, it says signature in the signature box on this one. Is that right? Assume that there was a signature there, okay? Okay, how about this one? I love this one. Fantastic. So this one here is a survey plan from, as you can see, it's for island lot number 19, and this is on Toronto Island. And I've zoomed in on the important part there. You see the date? It says registered April 6, 1876. Isn't that gorgeous? Wow. We actually have an original document from 1876 in our office. If you're ever in Thornhill and you want to stop in and look at some of these, please do. They're absolutely fantastic. But on the main plan, on the left-hand side, you can see that we have the title box in the top middle. That is the title box, right? It says plan of the subdivision of island lot number 19 with the scale underneath it. We then have the surveyor's name and their date. We have the surveyor's name in the bottom left-hand corner, and we have the date in the bottom right corner. So understand that the standards that we're held to have been the same since the beginning of, I guess, surveying in Canada. And all that's changed is the sophistication, the detail, the equipment, and so on. So what you can do is, by having this checklist of 4 things, you can take any survey from any period in time and validate that it actually has the components on the face of it that you need in order to be able to transact safely in your real estate deal. Pretty cool, right? 4 things on your checklist. Do it every time. If you're a BoundaryWise Academy graduate, you can just email it to us if you're unsure, and we'll say yes or no to you. So that's a huge value there. All right. So that's really that really sort of brings us to not quite the end, but the end of the learning piece that we want. I just want to quickly talk to you about the BoundaryWise Academy. Not for too long. Fantastic opportunity for you to get credentialed, to do something that adds to your list of credentials that you have. That you already have. And honestly, this academy is going to give you some unbelievable knowledge, some ability to compete against agents who don't have this, because you've got something that they don't. So great opportunity for you to put some back pressure on your on the commission, on the downward pressure on commissions right now. I'm going to get rid of this, and so now we can go back here very quickly. This is what you get. You get 8 to 10 hours of video training. Yes, it's me. You have to put up with me. Video training course notes. These are 8 courses that aren't taught by Rico or Ria. This is stuff that they seem to not believe is particularly important. We think it's absolutely critical, is at the end of the day, you're transacting land. Happens to have a house in it, but you're transacting land. It's really important that you step up and provide this kind of value. It's great from a career building and business standpoint too. It's all online. You take it at your own pace. If you start at 8 o'clock in the morning, you can have it finished by the end of the day easily. Most people take a weekend to do it, split it up over the weekend. You've got teaching assistant support behind it, quizzes and exams all the way through. And guys, this is difficult. You have to get 80% in order to pass each of the 7 exams. In order to be able to pass. So now you can go back and retake and we help you, but we're not making this for everyone to be able to pass. This has to be something that is above and beyond, that really helps differentiate you. These are the courses: Surviving and Thriving in the New Boundary Reality, Identifying and Validating Your Survey Plan. That's the one that goes much deeper in what we learned today. How to read a survey plan, the A to Z of title insurance, Realtor's Guide to Boundary Disputes, easements and right-of-ways, and so on. And we're constantly adding to the free additional ongoing learning videos and so on, with podcasts and videos and other documents that we provide as we learn and we find out and we can interpret. We provide that to BoundaryWise agents. Most importantly, you get the CBW designation. That's a new professional designation for Ontario Realtors, CBW. You get that designation. You can see the fancy pin there that you get on a lapel. You get access to many more learning resources. You get a great discount off buyers, sellers, and easements reports. And you're going to hear a whole bunch of promotion that we're doing this year on radio, print, and so on, and social, educating prospective home buyers and home sellers that, you know what, if they don't use a BoundaryWise agent, they'd be absolutely crazy. You're going to love some of the ads. And just to finish off, more leads, more listings, higher commissions, protect your higher commissions, and complete safer deals. Those are the benefits. That's why you do this. Finally, you're going to get please check us out at boundarywise.ca. You're going to be getting an email from us. And in that email, we're going to be giving you, there we go. In that email, we'll be sending you an amazing offer. Listen, we know that there's uncertainty around incomes right now. There's uncertainty around the market, but we know that you really want to take this designation. So we're going to give you a couple of offers that we hope you can't refuse, because we want to get you into the system and working. So that's it, guys. Any questions that you have, and I saw a few come in, any questions that you have, please post them in the chat, send them to us by email as it pertains to what's on the face of a survey plan, and we'll be happy to answer them in a follow-up video. Expect our next topic to come out in the next few days. See you back here, hopefully next Wednesday at 10 o'clock for the next shot of learning. So have a great week, everyone. Stay positive, stay productive, stay happy. We're getting through this together, and you got to know, when this market comes back, it's going to come roaring back. Let's help you get optimally ready for that. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Bye for now.